The La Sportiva Prodigio MAX aims to take maximalist trail running shoes to the next level by offering protection, energy return, and precision for steep climbs and technical descents. Well, how did the Prodigio MAX do in my testing, and should this be in consideration for your next ultra marathon? Stay tuned to find out. Well, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I first want to thank La Sportiva for sending the Prodigio MAX to me to test and review. They're not going to see this footage ahead of time at all. They're not telling me what to say. I'm going to give you my completely honest thoughts, like always. And as always, if you would like to help support the channel, you can use the link in the description to purchase a pair of the Prodigio MAX. And yeah, it's not going to cost you a cent, but it would help support the channel. Well, like always, we're going to start off with the stats of the Prodigio MAX. It is a neutral trail running shoe with a good amount of flexibility and twist in this platform. For the stack height of the Prodigio MAX, the rear came in at 37 millimeters tall, with the front coming in at 31 millimeters for a 6 millimeter drop. And just for reference, that is 3 millimeters more stack than the Prodigio Pro. And as for the weight, my men's 11.5 weighed in at 11.7 ounces or 333 grams. So yes, this is a slightly heavier shoe, but it honestly does not feel heavy when running, which we'll get into more detail about that in just a moment. And again, just for note, that is about 1.5 ounces heavier than the Prodigio Pro here. And as for the sizing, like pretty much all La Sportiva shoes, you're gonna wanna go up about at least a half of a size, maybe even a full size if you're gonna be doing a 100-mile race in the shoe potentially. Now, the upper of the Prodigio MAX is formed on the Tempo Max Last, which is, what they use to form the shoe, and it is marketed as a wider shoe. So we'll get more in detail on the kind of the fit and feel in the upper in just a moment. And lastly, the shoe is made of vegan and recycled materials. The upper of the Prodigio MAX is made from La Sportiva's cutting-edge new Comfort Wire fabric. Comfort Wire is made from a combination of TPEE polyester and embroidered yarn, allowing for enhanced durability and support while also reducing weight. Now, there is also a stability wrap on the shoe as well to provide additional security for the foot, and there's also some laser cut ventilation holes in the forefoot to allow greater airflow and increased comfort. Well, as for that claimed breathability, let's take a look at the tissue test to see how it performed. With the hairdryer on low, you can see that there isn't a ton of movement from the tissue. Even when switched to high, the tissue still doesn't come up as much as I would like to see, and certainly not as much as in the Prodigio Pro. However, when running, I will say that I never really felt like I had a hot foot, and I did run in some pretty hot temperatures, dry, arid heat here in Colorado Springs, and my foot never really felt too hot. Next, I really wanted to test the water drainability of this upper, so I completely submerged my feet for at least 30 seconds, really letting that water soak into this upper. And you can see when I step out of the water, there's really not a lot of water coming out of that upper. In fact, I really had to kind of smash my feet around inside the shoe to kind of force that water to escape, pretty much, or to drain out of that upper. So in my opinion, it definitely doesn't drain that great, unfortunately. Definitely not as well as the Prodigio Pro, but I think with a good pair of quick drying socks, you'd probably be okay. The toe box of the Prodigio MAX is really pretty wide for a La Sportiva shoe, and it offers plenty of room for my toes in the front. Didn't have any rubbing or hot spots at all. Also in the front toe box area is some of that wire protection that you can see here under this overlay. And also there's a little bit of a toe bumper in the front to kind of help protect from any kind of rock impacts. Maybe you're going to smack a root, something like that. Moving to the midsole of the Prodigio MAX, it felt pretty good. Again, no hot spots or rubbing for my kind of normal to slightly narrow width foot. Like I did mention earlier, this upper is formed on La Sportiva's Tempo Max Last, which is, again, how they form this upper. And it's marketed as wide, so it did feel pretty wide for a La Sportiva shoe, and really just on par with a lot of other shoes out there. I didn't have any discomfort really at all. While this is a slightly different last that they use for the Prodigio Pro here, which is on the Tempo Ultra Last, it still felt very similar in overall feel in the shoe. So if you've worn the Prodigio Pro and you're looking to get the Max, you should be good with the same size. The tongue of the Max here is pretty thin, but there is a little bit of padding underneath of this kind of TPU overlay on top, and it does a good job of protecting the top of your foot from the lacing system as well. And also I should note that the tongue is fully gusseted on both sides, which does a great job of helping keep debris out of the shoe, and it helps that tongue from sliding around as well. Also, I want to say the tongue is a good length. It's not one of those really short ones or excessively long. It's perfect for tying the shoe and not having them digging into the top of your foot, and it's going to give you enough protection. The laces are made of recycled materials. They are the lay flat variety. They do a good job. They stay tied. They have not come untied, and they're a good length as well. Moving to the rear of the shoe and the heel collar of the Max, you can see it's pretty padded. It's decent. It's definitely not plush, but it has plenty of protection for those long miles. The overall fit and feel in the heel is good as well. I had good lockdown. It was secure. I will say though that I did feel a little bit of a Achilles rub. Nothing excessive to where it caused any discomfort, but I could just feel it. And possibly in a much longer run, like maybe you're doing a 50-mile race, something like that, I may have felt some discomfort there. I mean, if you look at it, you can see it is sloped forward a little bit, but it didn't cause any problems on, up to about a 2-hour run. Also, I want to note that that heel collar does not feel quite as secure as this La Sportiva Prodigio Pro shoe. Just to note. Overall, I think this upper is pretty darn nice, and I think it's going to do pretty darn well in a long ultramarathon type race. The midsole of the Prodigio Max is La Sportiva's XFlow Endurance. It's a new nitrogen-infused eTPU midsole that offers plush cushioning without sacrificing responsiveness. Now, the Max here combines a supercritical nitrogen-infused eTPU core in the center with a nitrogen-infused EVA cage. Very similar to what we get in the Prodigio Pro, except this is the XFlow Speed. It's a little bit more responsive, more bouncy. The Max has higher sidewalls for greater stability on rough trails and features a wide platform and a medium rocker design engineered to deliver superior stability and smooth performance over those long miles. However, I do want to note that I do feel my foot sat up higher in the Max than it did in the Prodigio Pro here. Yes, there is 3 millimeters more stack height in this shoe, but it just felt like my foot was up higher in the midsole platform. Now, on one of my runs, I did actually tweak my ankle in the Max. However, I don't necessarily think that was the shoe's fault. The trail had just switched from a very technical section to a very easy, kind of buffed out, and I let my guard down, wasn't really paying attention, and then I tweaked my ankle. So it's probably more my fault than the shoe, but just wanted to bring it to your attention. Either way though, I do feel this shoe does a pretty good job over technical terrain, maybe not quite as good or agile as the Prodigio Pro. When running in the Prodigio Max, the midsole felt very cushioned and supportive, like it would be great for those 50-mile to 100-mile distances. The Max did have some responsiveness from this XFlow Endurance midsole, admittedly not quite as much as from the XFlow Speed midsole. This is incredibly bouncy, responsive, snappy. This felt great. Don't get me wrong, it felt really good, but it definitely did not have that same snap, that responsive, that reactivity that you get in the Pro. I noted earlier as well that this was a heavier shoe at 11.7 ounces in my 11.5 size. However, it never really felt heavy when running. Some shoes, they just feel like you're wearing lead weights. This one was definitely not one of those shoes. It did have enough response and energy return to feel more lively and just really help you enjoy the run. Overall, I gotta be honest, I think this Prodigio Max midsole, the XFlow Endurance, feels fantastic, and it really would be a great choice for a 100-mile shoe. The outsole of the Prodigio Max comes equipped with 4mm lugs, and it has La Sportiva's red compound, the Friction XT 2.0. Now, the red Friction XT 2.0, signified by the red X here in the outsole, is actually a combination of the white compound here in the front. I know it's actually red, but it's their white compound, which is their very sticky compound, and then the blue compound in the rear, which is a more durable to give you better wear in the heel, where a lot of people tend to wear a shoe a little bit more. Like I said, the lugs are 4mm in depth and a pretty aggressive design. Really seems to be pretty identical to the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro here, and should offer excellent traction over a variety of surfaces. When running on hard-packed dirt rock trails, the grip traction was absolutely phenomenal. Even when going over like sharper, more jagged rocks, I didn't feel them poking through into my foot at all. It felt very comfortable, it felt stable, and just excellent grip throughout the run. Overall, the outsole of the Max here is pretty phenomenal. It's great. I think it would excel like it does here in Colorado on hard-packed dirt rock trail, and even back in the Beast Coast if you're running some rocky, rooty, more muddy terrain. Well, the La Sportiva Prodigio MAX retails for $185 US. Shoe prices keep getting higher and higher, and unfortunately this is pretty in line with the competition nowadays. However, I do want to note that it is $40 cheaper than the Prodigio Pro. Well, the bottom line of the Prodigio MAX is these are fantastic shoes for long days on the trails. Whether that's a long training run in the Colorado mountains or, like I said before, crushing some Beast Coast trails, they're going to do great. The comfortable upper, the protective and cushioned midsole, the grippy outsole really do make this Prodigio MAX a fantastic option for a 100-mile shoe, or of course a 50K, but certainly up to that 100-mile distance, they would do great. Well, I know the shoe has not been out too long yet, so have you tried the Prodigio MAX? Let me know below if you have, what your thoughts are, if you like the midsole, the grip. Let us know below. I'm sure everybody would love to see those comments. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I really do hope this was helpful. If so, give the video a thumbs up. That would be very cool. I would appreciate it. Consider purchasing these shoes with the link below. It does help support the channel. Like I mentioned, it's not going to cost you a cent. And also, we talked about it quite a few times, the Prodigio Pro. If you want to take a look at that full review on your screen right over there, go watch that as well. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to La Sportiva for sending the shoes. I'll see you in the next one.